Okay, let's open the meeting of the Cold Spring Zoning Board of Appeals. I'm Eric Worth, Chair. And with me tonight is Mary Ann Remy, John Martin, a new member, Robert Ferreira. Do you prefer to be called Rob or?
Rob,
okay.
Robert, whichever you like.
No,
Robbie?
new member is Billy Fields.
No, you can.
Wow, okay, great, fantastic.
And then as a special guest, we have Jonathan DeJoy, one of the attorneys who works regularly with the village. The mayor asked him to come tonight to give an orientation on the operation of a ZBA for the benefit of the new members especially, but also gives a chance for the past experienced members to ask questions and get a refresher. So let's start with that. Jonathan, go ahead.
So I believe that's the only item on tonight's agenda, right?
We have one more thing.
Okay.
A draft resolution,
Sure.
not a big deal.
Do you want to go through that first?
No, let's do you first. You don't have to wait for.
All right, so I would suggest, since I'm the zoning board attorney and I'm gonna be giving you all legal advice tonight, that we go into an attorney-client session and then we can go offline.
Oh, okay. That's fine, yeah. So it's
So we have a motion for that.
Okay.
I'll make a motion
And a
to,
second.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
go offline, yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, if you want, I'll hang around for this one.
No,
If not,
no, but it's a very minor routine thing.
All right, works for me.
All right, thanks, John.
Bye-bye.
All right, the attorney-client session has ended. We're back with our regular meeting. We have just one more item on the agenda, which is a draft resolution that the board will review and either revise or approve. So go ahead and take a moment to read it.
Yeah, and did the board discuss at all about enforcing the last part where it says that if they.
Addition.
Mhm.
I don't believe we had any special discussion of that. It's, there really is no mechanism.
'Cause that was the same thing
That could have
about
been a question we
parking.
asked him,
Well, but-
now that I think about it, I meant to remember that. But
I guess it falls on the code enforcement
It does.
officer.
I was gonna,
He or she, in an ideal world, that person will have a system for keeping track of these permanent conditions. Maybe, a database with each property, if there's conditions
Yeah.
attached to it.
but it's also an understanding, and part of our decision, so we could actually, say something to the code enforcement that
We could look into
that's
that.
been removed, but we wouldn't take the action to call code enforcement, we would just simply advise that it no longer exists, the condition. And these are all cases, and they come out of the second department, which is the appeals area of the Carmel Supreme Court, which hears in the first instance any appeal, if it's an appeal from the ZBA decision. And then we go to the second department and they refer to have conditions
Hmm.
often, with regards to fences and other situations.
So it does, it can come up like
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah, I can leave this and I can hand this to you. This is all public, this is public, these are public cases. So
Oh.
you can look it through and then
Oh,
we'll talk about it another time.
Here.
Okay, great.
My only comment is that my memory of the map of the property, that this wasn't in the front yard. It was
No,
only the rear and side.
It- Um,
it stretches, it begins at the front
Mhm.
and it shoots straight back going.
No,
east.
yeah, no, I remember where it
house?
stands, but
this is this is north, and here's the property line we're talking about. The house is like a square here,
Yep.
right? So front yard is everything forward of the facade, the front facade. So
Right.
front, and so the fence runs along the entire boundary.
It's in the side
So
yard
it's
too.
both, yes, it's all 3 yards. Because
Yeah.
if this square in the middle is the house, you have rear yard, then side yard, then front yard.
right, so I'm just saying my memory of it, not seeing it in front of me,
Mm.
is that the fence line starts behind the front facade of the house, the way the house sits, because the house sits with the front facing this way, and the fence runs here.
The front faces this way now, right?
It faces straight.
Yeah, it faces straight down the
It
street.
faces west, yeah, straight down the street.
Faces
Yeah,
west down the
that's
street,
right.
yes, correct.
Right.
And so the,
This
so,
is all front yard here then.
well, I mean, essentially, the way their lot is shaped, their front yard is lot one, which they've not purchased yet. The way it sits.
But there's also space on the
There
original lot.
there is, but that, the fence line starts
Starts,
behind the front of the house.
but doesn't it start out here at this corner?
It's not the full spread of that line.
Yeah, it's interesting. I went over there to look at it.
Well, I've got it here.
I mean, I'd love to, I'm just saying, this is what I remember, that's why I want to,
Yeah,
like, put other, it may in fact impact the front yard as defined, but I remember it as being side and rear yard.
Okay, well, it's,
Yeah, I think in my recollection, it is forward into the front yard area.
Yeah.
And in fact, no less, the trailer is, pretty much up into the front yard, but off, to the north, of their actual residence. So
right.
their residence, if this were actually the direction, so this is east, which it is, their house would sit here, the trailer is over here.
It's like a,
And the front of their house is right here and the trailer's over here, and they ran the fence a little bit down to block it. If you rode up to there, you can see it.
so, this is,
oh, okay, it is in the front. yeah.
north is this way.
Yeah, I got it, yeah, sure,
And
I
the
can see
house
it,
is-
yeah, I can see it. Because the front of the house is here.
Yes, exactly.
And
The
this is
front
the head of
facade
it.
is
Yeah,
here.
yep, yeah, got it. Okay, great.
The only reason why I sort
That
of,
language is correct, obviously. I shouldn't even second guess her.
no, but the funny thing is that's one of the questions I had discussed with Eric when we were actually at the hearing. Like, I was trying to figure out now, so where's the front of the house?
Like what
where's
the,
side-
what
Yeah,
the
so-
side yard is defined
Yeah.
as, the rear yard is defined as, the front, yeah, I remember that.
So, this was an approval with a condition, as Mary Ann noted. So there is a condition a permanent condition on this approval. Any corrections?
I don't see any need for correction here. It's good to me. Thank you, guys. I think,
Someone want to move to accept the draft?
Well, I'll move to accept the resolution, 2024-06, for the approval of the variance of the side yard fence as written in this resolution.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'm not gonna vote, sorry,
Oh, you're abstaining.
I'm
Okay.
abstaining.
Maybe you shouldn't second it now.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, sorry.
Second.
Correct. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
all right,
Okay.
that's 4.
4 in favor and Mary Ann abstaining. So it passes, that's a majority.
So, yeah, I've always found that you know, it takes nothing to like go over to any particular lot that's looking for something and just you look around, it's like a really good feel. And it just takes moments. Like as soon as I went down to see the place on Belvedere, I was like, oh, that's hardly an ask, you know, because the fence really will be, when you go down to the end of the Belvedere, that's where their house is, so it sits right straight off, not on the side of any part of the street. And that fence literally just runs away from you as you look at it.
That out shed is also blocks it from the front, right?
Yeah, that's right. Blocks what though?
Like the way it sits in the houses here, that shed is
Yeah,
there,
it's
so
a little
like,
more
when
set.
you're in the street, that's gonna block some of it.
Some of it,
a
yeah.
little bit. You have to get right up on top of it to even see it anyway.
You do, I mean, so it isn't as big of an eyesore. And there have been very few times where it's that cryptically tucked into a place that you really won't be impacted.
Right.
Any other business?
No.
No? I'll make a motion that we close the meeting.
Okay, I'll second that one.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, passes.
Thank
Unanimous.
you.
So Robert, great having you.
Yeah, welcome and
Yeah.
and